Rush Duel is a fast-paced spin-off game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can summon as many monsters as you want and draw up to 5 cards each turn. In this series, me and the TheDrAlex progress through each Rush Duel product release and build decks with whatever cards were available at that time. We have been drafting characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime and have exclusive access to those characters' boss monsters, and will continue to draft characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush series. Join us as we continue to battle it out in this series, Rush Duel Character Draft. Red Reboot of Darkness was released November 11th, 2023, and introduces Darkness fusion monsters, corrupted versions of existing fusion monsters made using Darkness monsters. Celeb Rose Gossip Witch and Celeb Rose Gossip Magician can be made using Darkness Paparazzi. Demolition Meltdown Dragon Darkness Blastomat can be made using Darkness Phantomite. To round out my boss monsters, I'll also get Infernal Kappa River Sprinter, Glacius, the Snowmeister of Sacred Splendor, and Galflare the Sky Savior Shine. Alex will gain access to the face card of the set, Red Reboot Enhanced Boost Dragon, made using Darkness Drake. Darkness Galactica Oblivion can be made using Darkness Dwarf. Alex will also gain the new fish support, including Surging Wave Swordsman Onimaru Kunituna, Pitch Dark Surging Wave Swordsman Onimaru Kunituna, and Dark Hydro Cannon Neutron Bluefin. He will also get the new Red Eyes / Meteor Dragon support, including Meteor Black Mars Dragon, Meteor Swarm Dragon, and Meteor Black Drake. Alex will also gain new Wind Psychic support, Inflect Clive, the Dynamouth Deadly Dirge, and Bandiva the Ballistic Battle Ballad. Finally, Alex will receive Darkness Transamu Kraosis, and Dead End the Mad Fiend of Despair. So this is the deck we're bringing to today's game. This is Kappas, which is kind of, it's not really an archetype so much as it's like just Aquas, but with less of the Keto stuff, but we still have to include it because there aren't really enough Kappa stuff to build a whole deck. So our new boss monster is Infernal Kappa River Sprinter. So we can send 1 Kappa Emperor River Slider, Infernal Kappa Duet, or Kappa's Gas from our hand to the graveyard to destroy a card in the opponent's field. Then if you have 3 or more Aqua-type monsters in your graveyard, you can draw 1 card. But this card's great. Now, discarding a card is not the greatest, but it does replace itself, and we get to pop on an opponent's card, so it does +1 us. On top of that, the cards we have to discard are all quite bad. One of them is the River Slider, which is a 2500 beta at the very least, but its effect is usually going to be useless because it requires our opponent to have a lot of normal monsters. And the other card is a 100 attack, 1000 defense monster that requires our opponent to have level 7 normal monsters in their graveyard, and only cheats out the bad beta. So those aren't great. The other card we can discard is Kappa's Gas, which is when an opponent's monster declares an attack targeting your face down monster, the attacking monster loses 2000 attack until the end of the turn. So again, not the best, because this works really well when you have a lot of high defense monsters. Like, you really want to be inflicting damage to your opponent, and if your opponent's actually like a 4000 attacker, for example, you really want your monster to survive, so you want high defense. Unfortunately, the only high defense Kappa is River Sprinter, so it doesn't even really synergize there too well, so it's a little bit wonky. But being able to pop a card and draw is pretty good. The only other weakness of this card is its attack points are very low at 2100. 2600 defense is very nice, but that's about it. For the rest of the deck, we've just kind of stuffed as many Aquas as we can because a lot of our effects kind of want us to have lots of Aqua monsters. For example, we need 3 Aquas in the graveyard to use River Sprinter. We need 3 Aquas to get Mischief Maker off. We need multiple Aquas in the graveyard to get River Flow off. There's just a lot of stuff in here. And with the addition of the kind of generic Aqua support, we actually do have quite a lot that works quite well. Lady of Pumps is a draw and a boost. We have Shoulder Phone Nian Nian, which can weaken our opponent's monsters as well as recycle our high level monsters, which means the deck should have a little bit of consistency to it. So this is the deck. We're feeling okay about it. I think realistically, it will come down to whether or not we draw well enough to be able to use River Sprinter's effect to get those big annoying cards out of the way. So let's fire on in and see what Alex has got for us. Last week, we had quite the interesting game between Worms and Meteor Dragons. Unfortunately, again, I think you did get a little bit unlucky that week. You weren't really able to stick your fusions as much as you would like, and I was able to just find my field spell every single game. So you've been on a little bit of a downtrend in terms of just luck, right? Because I don't think you've been playing badly, and I don't think the decks have been bad. I just think you've just been getting really, really unlucky. So I'm interested to see if that turns around today, or if you're just destined to be unlucky for the rest of your life.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Well, maybe it'll translate that in Duel Links you'll start getting really, really lucky, right?
Yeah.
So this is week 3 of Red Reboot of Darkness, which means we're getting through a lot of the stuff, but there is still a lot we haven't actually seen yet. I mean, for me, there's a lot less. I still have a couple of decks left over from the last set, but for you, you still have quite a lot in this set you haven't hit yet. We haven't seen your... God, the Galaxy. I think there's Dark and Light Galaxy got a little bit of support. There's a little bit of support for Fiends. There was the high-tech dragons. We still haven't seen the actual enhanced Red Boot dragon yet. So, like, there's a lot of stuff we still haven't seen from you. So it's actually kind of difficult to predict what you're going to be on. Again, you're Alex, so I'm expecting dragons. But also, Galaxy and Dark Galaxy have both been favourites of yours and have been quite successful for you. So I could easily see you on either of those. Now, what I'm on is going to be a little bit more obtuse, right? I don't have a ton of great stuff left to me that isn't, like, really, really, really broken. Now, obviously, I could be bringing one of those things. Something like Solitaire is something I could bring. Or I could bring Sky Saviors. They're kind of the two, like, really, really strong decks I have in the back pocket. But I do also have a lot of other lower tier decks. So you got any idea what you think I'm going to be on?
I'm going to guess Sky Savior.
Okay, okay. Well, shall we hop on in and we'll see what both of them?
Let's go.
Wah. Wah. Ah.
First.
Ooh, okay. The Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Profit. Straight Tribute. Ryosaur. Or Chrysaor.
Ryosaur, yeah.
Well, we'll start with Ship of the Seven Treasures, and I'll reveal that I am on Kappa!
Ooh.
Ah, this is not the best hand in the world. Alright, we will summon Shoulder Phone Nian Nian. I can activate its effect, place one card from my hand on the bottom of my deck, then I can weaken one of your monsters, and add a level 7 or higher Aqua-type monster from my graveyard back to my hand. So I'm going to take Kappa Emperor River Slider. And then we will activate a second ship. We will normal summon Nuvia the Wicked Mischief Maker. We won't be using its effect just yet, but I will then summon Lady of Pumps. Then I can activate Mischief Maker, which will mill a card and boost my guys. Then, I think it has to be this, right? The other one's not worth it. We'll Tribute 2, and summon out Dee and Keto the Cure Maiden. Because now I can activate Lady of Pumps, draw a card. That is the... that is like the worst draw. I guess we just...
Another 2 tribute.
Maybe. We will swing. And then pass, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let's trade in. You.
It's a pretty good start.
Normal summon Darkness Dwarf.
Ooh, where he is.
Fusion.
Just send one other physical monster to the graveyard fusion summon. From your hand to the graveyard. Okay. So you could have saved the fusion? Question mark?
True, but I can also get the fusion back with his effect.
Or fusion from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Then
I can normal summon. Tributing 3 monsters. Should summon Cryosis.
Okay. So during the turn you normal summon this card the above way, destroy one card your opponent's field, then you can make this card gain attack with the original level of the monster times 200. So you're going to gain 1600 attack. Just for the turn, thank God, because I don't want to deal with a 4100 attacker. Okay, so now your guy doesn't do anything. He's just a vanilla. Unfortunately, my hand is not the best, so I'm going to T-set pass.
Ooh.
He's back.
Cool. Cataphractus.
So you can use Cataphractus effect if you want.
I would like to use fusion. Because putting another 8 in my hand doesn't seem like a good idea.
So here is Darkness Doom Giant again, and Universe Storm hits my Scat Thief. I desperately needed to resolve to fix my hand.
Yep, go to battle.
Got my Hell Kappa Diwet.
Be on a jet bicycle.
Yes.
Jet ski bicycle.
Oh, you see River Slider, he's also on one. Well, I guess his is more of an actual just jet ski.
Poor guy's got to pedal his jet ski.
Well, I don't have a play.
Oh. Is there a Karibo in hand?
There isn't. Doesn't exist. Well, let's hope game 2 goes a little bit better. I don't see all of my high levels at the early game. Right, we'll go first. Alright, we will set 2, and then we're going to tribute set, and set a back row, and then pass.
Okay. Tail Rider. Set. Go to battle. Swing.
It's my Infernal
Ooh.
Kappa River Sprinter. 2100 butt, and I can send a Kappa River Slider, Infernal Kappa Duet, or Kappa Gas from my hand to the graveyard to destroy a card on your field. And if I have 3 or more Aquas in my grave, I can draw a card.
Next one doesn't need a jet ski.
No, he just runs. He's a sprinter. There's no real reason to do that. Well, I guess I will just summon out Shoulder Foe Nien Nien. Flip over my Moisturize. And destroy a spell trap. I guess I kind of want to do this either way. So I will activate River Sprinter. And we'll pop one of your face downs. And draw a card. We will normal summon Rice Terrace Secure. Reboot 2 to summon out D and Keto. Normal summon out Rice Terrace Secure. Change this to attack. Set this. Go to battle. We probably shouldn't get greedy. It's probably a low defense monster, but I think you do play one that has decent defense. It's not that one. And we'll just swing up 12. Then we'll pass. I can't remember what it's called. It's like, is it Globule? The one that has okay defense? Like 13 defense or something?
Yes.
That's the one.
Make Protostar.
Okay. Like Profit. Profit Fair. Expect fusion. Now we're about to see another fusion, we're about to see a tribute.
Another fusion.
Okay. Yeah, Darkness Dwarf seems like the best of these just because it's generic and it can be polymerization. So it's like the most consistent of the Darkness cards. But fusion again. Probably just a set.
Yeah. Much as I don't want it destroyed.
I mean, all you have to do is draw one of the 18 ways you have to get it back to your hand. I think you'll be fine. Okay, so we're not looking for a trade. We're just going to beat over. So, your Doom Giant is once per turn. It's not just the turn it's summoned, that both of your guys are. That's a little bit problematic, I guess. One is a gamble. The other's guaranteed. I think we go for the guaranteed. So we'll summon out Abyss Soldier. You can activate Abyss Soldier, discard our Kappa, and just say goodbye to your Doom Giant. Then we'll get rid of your pesky polymerization. Now I can summon this, use its effect, do that, get that back, or I could do the other way around. So I'll summon out Lady of Pumps, activate its effect. Then I can activate Ship the 7 Treasures, discard the draw 2. Fortunately, that was a little bit greedy. I probably shouldn't have done that. But then again, if I hadn't done that, I'd have to go bah. No, that wouldn't have worked out anyway. So, we will go straight to the battle phase. We will clear Protostar. I don't think I have any information on what your set card is. I just know that it could be a Globule, so we'll attack over it with this. Then we'll get him for 11. And then we'll pass.
Okay. Blob.
Yep. He's back. This is such a nice engine. I feel like you constantly have access to Doom Giant and constantly recycle fusion over and over and over.
Give him the fun axe.
Cannot be destroyed by trapped cards. Okay. I think that's a little bit of piercing. A little bit of piercing.
I have to get rid of this.
Yeah, you absolutely have to get rid of that. Right, we will normal summon Shoulder Phone Yan Yan. I'm going to activate its effect. And we'll get rid of this to weaken this, and then I can take back... and what's your attack now? It's going to be 22. Okay, we'll take back Slider. We'll then tribute 2 for Slider. We'll summon out Lady of Pumps and activate its effect. That's still not what I wanted. We will go to battle phase and attempt to attack. And see if we can...
I mean, you know what my face done is.
Oh, you have 1 card in hand. You could have kept the poly in hand after last time when you said...
oh, yeah, true.
I could have inferred that. You are right, but... Oh, right. At least it wasn't a 2-0 sweep, right? We're in the game.
Go first.
Okay.
And... two.
Wait a minute.
2 and end.
That's a funny looking dark galaxy monster.
It is, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to mimic your play with 2 back row and 1 monster.
Let's storm.
Please stop hitting the correct ones. Unless you've got a second one, in which case I don't feel as bad.
Unfortunately not. And it's 1.
It's the boy.
Fusion.
So
My other new Dark Galaxy.
It's the real one, right? So in top card, that's the graveyard. 1 face-up effect monster with 100 or more original attack on your opponent's field. Lose attack equal to its original attack until the end of this turn. Then you can negate its continuous effects. So that's a really cool guy, but not when I have 1 set monster.
Yeah. His effect. I don't want to use either of these.
Alright, well we do have Sakuretsu armor.
Oh.
But you probably infer what's in my hand and I'm... okay. We can make this work, but it sketches all hell. Okay, what are we doing with this? We have to get you off, which means... Oh, I shouldn't say it like that, but...
Oh my god, you get the card off.
Alright, I guess we'll start with this. We'll summon Spitter Slime. Then we will summon Lady of Pumps. We'll flip up my Nuvia the Wicked Mischief Maker, activate its effect. Then we will tribute 2 to summon out my Infernal Kappa River Sprinter. I can then activate the effect of Lady of Pumps, give me a little boost and draw a card. Then I can activate the effect of River Sprinter discard a card, and I think I'm going to pop one of your back row. That's a very nice hit. Then we will activate ship, send this to draw 2. Then we're going to activate ship, and send this to draw 2. Then we're going to activate moisturize. That was a little bit less exciting to hit, but it was still nice. It was still nice. Do we bother playing around Mirror Force? We probably should, really, shouldn't we? We'll put just a guy in defense just in case. And again, we'll play around Globule. Well, and apparently Logisticos also has a lot of defense points. I don't think... I mean, we've just seen my Legend spell. We've just seen... Or my Legend trap. We've just seen your Legend spell. I don't think we've seen our Legends much in this match.
No, I've not seen Monster or Trap yet.
Yeah, I've not seen... Well, I've seen my Monster, actually. That was very good. What's that? You have another way to get your fusion back? Whoa, that's crazy.
Yes, I'll do this.
I respect it.
You.
Logisticos.
You.
Oblivion again. Ooh.
Oh. Fusion. Probably should have done this first.
It was double trade in Dark Hole.
I'll give him a Gullen Bursty.
Cannot be destroyed by spell cards, gains 800 attack. That's scary.
Then we'll activate. Lower your attack.
Yep.
Go to battle.
You don't need to kill River Sprinter, he's fine. It only gets 800 during your turn. That's interesting.
It's almost like this trap card, not spell, but trap. Equip spell is too fair.
Yeah. I don't even think it was that bad, to be honest. I guess they were like, oh, Dark Galaxy is already kind of good. Like, Dark Galaxy is a good deck, right? I don't think it's like tier 1 wins every tournament deck, but it's definitely a good deck.
Yeah. I
have like a potentially really cool way to cheat out River Slider, but then I can't kill your guy. I'm like, there's no way I could do both of those things, and it's just making me sad. So
you don't have to kill my guy.
No, I absolutely have to kill your guy. Okay, so we will... I guess we start by summoning this. We'll then Tribute 2 to summon out Sprinter. Then we summon out Nian. Activate Nian. Put this card away. Weaken that. Then we add Slider to our hand. Then we can activate the effect of Sprinter, discard Slider, pop this, and draw a card. And we set, we flip over Terra Secure, go to battle, and then we swing. So what I wanted to do was use the effect of my Hellcappa Die Wet to special summon River Slider, which I can do because you have a level 7 normal monster in your graveyard. And I was like, this is never going to happen again. But I was like, if I do that, I don't have enough room to resolve Nian Nian as well.
Okay, that's...
Oh dear.
That's game. Fuck.
Well, I'll show you my trap
Draw
card.
3/8 right at the end.
Yeah, that sucks when that happens.
Oh, the bad luck continues.
Yeah. I mean, I assume you're not on like a ridiculous number of 8s. The deck's pretty consistent as is. I mean, we saw how much you were fusion summoning back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, game 1, I got stuck with a bunch of high levels. I'm playing 8, I think, high levels. I'm playing 6 7s and 2 8s. And then in that first game, I think I opened... Well, I ended up finding like all 6 or 6 of my 8 in like the top 10 cards of my deck. And I was like, what do I even do with this? But we did at least get to see what both of our decks can do. Your deck... Jesus Christ, I did not realize how many ways you have just to keep fusing. Like... Already, Prophet was a really good card, but then Darkness Dwarf is just such a great tool for the deck, because the deck is already very consistent, right? You already have a lot of tools to find what you need. And Darkness Dwarf just really toolboxes the graveyard even harder. On top of the fact, I mean, I don't think you used its effect to... Oh, you did do it once, I think. You
did it once,
its
yeah,
effect.
And
that's really cool as well, because it means even if you don't find your fusion, you're still good to go. Or a fusion stuck in your graveyard, you can just use Dwarf, fusion summon, and then get fusion back that way to go into something else, which is really crazy. We also got to see Darkness Galactica Oblivion, which is also a really cool one. I think you're supposed... Well, I say supposed to. In the anime... I believe that Darkness Galactica Oblivion was just, it was in the Light Galaxy deck. They just play Light Galaxy and they just throw the copy of Darkness Dwarf in. So that might be something you want to try at some point, I don't know. But obviously, it's going to be a little bit of anti-synergy because it's dark and all the other cards in there are light, and some of the cards need you to have light cards, so it's a bit wonky. But obviously, the idea is that it corrupts everyone's boss monsters, and obviously the Light Galaxy guy, who's like the main character, plays Galactica Oblivion as an ace. And then it gets corrupted with Darkness Dwarf into Darkness Galactica Oblivion and gets very edgy. Whereas it would be weird if the Dark Galaxy guy got a similar treatment, because his deck's already very edgy, right? Like, he doesn't... You can't make the edgy guy edgier. Maybe you give him the opposite, and you give him, like, cute Dwarf, and then it fuses and becomes, like, fluffy, wuffy Void Velger Requiem.
Yeah.
As for my deck, I mean, it's a bit weird, right? Because there literally are not enough Kappa cards to build an entire Kappa deck. There are straight up not enough. I could have stuck a load of normal monsters and been closer to a pure Kappa, but even if I put 3 copies of every card that has Kappa in its name, it's still not a 40 card deck. So we did what we could. Obviously, we had to support it with a lot of the just generic effect aquas, which there aren't actually that many of as well. But Slider is basically a meme, right? It's a 2500 body, which is fine, but then its effect is... Send an Aqua-type monster from your field to the graveyard. That's already a really shit cost, right? Not only is it not just discard, so you can't even just get rid of a high level from your hand. You have to send a normal summoned monster from your field to the graveyard. And then you can destroy up to 2 face-up level 7 or lower normal monsters. Now, obviously in this matchup, that could have come up because you're actually on them. But 99% of the time, people are just not going to have that in their deck, which means it's just not going to do anything. Sprinter, his effect is actually quite good, right? We get to send a bad card, because all 3 cards you send are bad, which is a bit of a problem. But you get to send one of those to the graveyard, destroy any card, face up, face down, spell trap, or monster. So that's really, really good. Then if you have 3 or more Aqua-type monsters in your graveyard, you can draw 1 card. Also, really, really good. But he's only got 2100 attack and 2600 defense. Now, 2600 defense is great, but it doesn't really work with the deck. And one of the cards you send, Kappa's Gas, is a trap card that says if your opponent attacks your face down defense monster, your monster gains 2000 defense, or your opponent's monster loses 2000 attack or something. It's a 2000 difference either way. And so you're like, oh, okay, so you're supposed to play this in like a defensive Kappa deck, but Sprinter is the only one that has good defense. So it's like, are you playing it just to be played with Sprinter? That doesn't seem to make sense. It's very, very weird, but yeah, we at least we got to see what both these decks can do. It's a shame that, again, both of us bricked. I bricked game 1, you bricked game 3, but we still got to see what both the decks can do. And like we keep saying, I'm sure we will see these decks come back because, I love the Aquas, you love the Dark Galaxy, so we'll give them another shot later on. But yeah,
Yes.
GG, buddy.
GG.